Good morning, everybody. It's Saturday morning. We are in cleaning mode right now. We have a couple of boxes and things from stuff we're packing, preparing for our move, if that's still happening. Um, and we are like trying to get everything into the basement, organizing the basement, and we're just cleaning all of our surfaces. I've been cleaning like every day just in case. Um, but for the most part, nothing's coming in or out of our house except for the mail. And we just kind of leave that in a quarantine zone by the front door for a couple of days, being hyper paranoid. Um, and maybe spray it with Lysol. So we got all kinds of fun preventive measures. And maybe I'm going overboard, but I am so okay with that. I would much rather go overboard. Good morning. Good morning, Gemma. Good to see you. Um, we have been like yesterday. We did a nice family dinner, and tonight we're planning on. I think we're gonna try to make homemade pizzas. I have a couple of options that I'm gonna try with the boys. I we've done homemade pizza before, and it's come out really good. Other times I've completely screwed it up. So we're gonna try it again, and see how that goes. Uh, Sometimes it comes out like a glop. Like I can't get the dough so that it's either like so that it spreads or so that it's not too wet. I'm like I'm not a pizza maker. Uh, I also made a monkfish dish a few months ago. And monkfish is an ugly fish. It's like just like looks like a glop of goo. Like the fillet is just gross. But one of our local grocery stores had it, and I figured, oh, let's try it. I've never had it before. It was pretty cheap. It was on sale, so I made this dish. It was just like Cajun seasoning with flour, and you just like chop the monkfish into chunks, and then you like put it in a bag of flour, shake it around like shake and bake almost, and then what is it like you saute I think onions and white wine and like all this stuff in a pan, and then you throw in garlic and then you throw in the breaded monkfish with some tomatoes, and it comes out amazing. I've made it twice since then. Everybody loved it. I only had one fillet, which was maybe 3/4 of a pound. Everybody loved it. I didn't make enough. They were all complaining. So I went out and bought two fillets, made it again, and it was terrible. I put in too much Cajun seasoning. Came out awful. Nobody could eat it. So then I made it a third time. And I don't know what I did this time, but it came out like not, it came out like goopy. It was terrible again. Everybody complained about it. So I'm going to try it one more time. I have two fillets of monkfish, and I am going to try this recipe one more time, either tonight or tomorrow, whichever day we decide not to do the pizza. But man, we're just going to make a mess in the kitchen over the weekend and try to have fun with it. Oh, your nan made pizza. That's pretty cool. So my wife, her mom makes Sicilian pizza, and it's really good. I'm more of a flat, like thin crust pizza. So the ones that I made last time came out more like a margarita pizza or whatever. It's a little doughy, floury at the bottom, thin in the middle, dough on the around the edge. Really good, really good. Oh, and I'm just thinking, I wish we had buffalo mozzarella. That would have been good too, but that's okay. We'll make good. Never give up. Yeah, I know. Never give up. I'm gonna keep trying. I'm gonna keep trying. Um, yeah, making bread. I made French bread and I made sourdough bread in the past, and it comes out really really good. If I decide to venture out to the local Arabic grocery store we have here, I might buy the ingredients I need to make some of my grandmother's Lebanese food too. I don't know. We'll see how things go. Good morning, Jackie. Good to see you. Last night we watched. What did we watch last night? Never Been Kissed. My one son, it was just too old for him. He got to go play with his iPad. My almost 10-year-old son, there were a few things in there too mature for him, so we had to like pause and fast forward through a couple of things. But it was a movie my wife apparently didn't remember. There was some more mature content in there that we had to. It's not bad. It's on the Disney station. If I mean, it's not can't be that bad, right? But it was still like a little bit more than we cared to have our kids see. So we had to fast forward through a section or two. But we did that together last night. I broke out my secret stash of Doritos and Cadbury mini eggs that nobody knew about. So my boys got to eat their Doritos, and my wife got to eat her economy size bag of mini eggs. So we did that. Little surprises here and there. So trying to do what we can. Trying to do what we can. I started watching. I was a super big Star Trek fan when I was in like my teens and 20s, and I just started watching the new Picard TV show on CBS All Access. It's pretty good. It's actually really well made. The special effects now these days are like light years ahead of, no pun intended, light years ahead of where they were in the 90s. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. It passes time. Yesterday, my allergies were kicking yesterday, so I was like just like trying to get through it all. Yeah, Sicilian pizza's good. But so Gemma, did she make Sicilian with anchovies? Because they do that and I can't handle it. I just give me plain cheese or throw some sausage or pepperoni on there, which they never do, but they always put anchovies on there and I can't handle it. I like anchovies. Like I'll eat anchovies by themselves, or what's the other one? The other little fish. Anyway, but I mean, like I'll eat them. I just can't have them on pizza. That's not the kind of pizza that I want. Um, well, yeah, but our priority today is cleaning. It's so cold. I woke up this morning, so our furnace goes down. We have a schedule on our furnace, and at um, 6 o'clock, it goes from, I think it's set to go to like 64 at night, and then at 6 o'clock it goes up to 68. And because it's so cold, we have a heat pump. We got some sort of a credit when we first bought the house if we installed a heat pump. So we needed to install a new air conditioning anyway, so we threw in a heat pump, and that works as long as it's over 32 degrees outside. So it works off of electricity. Well, then when it goes below 32, which it did last night, the furnace kicks on. And our furnace hasn't been needed for, I guess, a couple of weeks now. So it kicked on and I smelled burning. So at 6 o'clock in the morning, I guess, just the furnace just kicking on for the first time. Maybe it was dust in I have no idea, but it smelled like burning. And I like jump out of bed thinking that the house is burning down, and I'm running around, and then it occurred to me, because I was dazed, like 6 o'clock, nobody expects to, jump out of bed at 6 in the morning on a Saturday morning after staying up all night watching movies with the kids. So I was a little confused about what was going on, and then I figured it out. But yeah, crazy. Just a bad way to wake up on a Saturday. You didn't put anchovies on because you wouldn't eat it. I wouldn't eat it either. I've tried it. I tried it at their recommendation, but it was just not good. Not good at all. I can't do it. The one thing that she does make that I've never had before, although we do have a place now locally that makes them, rice balls. They're called arancini. They just call them rice balls, and she makes they're like this big. They're little rice croquettes, is what she calls them too. Rice croquettes, and they're like oval shaped. They look like almost like an egg, and it's like it's a ball of rice, and inside is egg, and then they pan fry it, and it's like this ball of like heaven. I've never had one until I met my wife, and when her mom would make them, I don't think they wanted me to come over because I couldn't control myself. It's like one of those foods where you're just like, oh my God, how did I never have this? And now I can't stop having them. She can't make enough, and they take a while to make too. But there's a place now in Pittsburgh near us, about 5 minutes away, and they make arancini, but I guess arancini means little oranges, but the ones they make are this big. So, I mean, a whole, like they're $4 a piece, and one of them is practically a meal. And they always have four at a time. They have a vegetarian option, so they might have like broccoli and cheddar, or they'll have uh, like a buffalo mozzarella with marinara. They'll have steak and cheese. They do the traditional, which I believe is just ground beef with peas and maybe onions. They'll do hot sausage and onions. They'll do a bolognese, and it's like I mean, it's the most one of the most amazing little things you can have, and I don't know where it's been all my life. I have no idea how we've never heard of these things. It's an Italian street food, and I guess it's popular in Italy, but for some reason people were just stuck on pizza in America, pizza and pasta. We missed out on these things for a long time, and but now I try to stay away because I'm sure they're not good for you, and I've been trying to be low carby and more vegetables and stuff like that, but like I walk past this place maybe once every couple of weeks, and I can smell it because they also make pizza, so I smell their pizza. That always smells amazing. But yeah, it's just oh my goodness. If you ever like look up arancini, some restaurants now I've been noticing will have it as an appetizer. But if you can get a place that specializes in arancini, ridiculous, ridiculous. It'll change your life. Deborah says, "Good morning. I'm determined to accomplish my to-do list today. No more laying around feeling sad." It's funny because I'm definitely not one to lay around, right? But I also think in this circumstance, me working at my normal pace will probably burn me out quicker than any other time because I'm not getting my typical breaks. I'm not getting my typical Tuesday night for an hour at the brewery. I'm not getting my typical just driving around listening to music, casually grocery shopping. You know, that feeling of confinement is actually sort of burdensome, right? And so I've noticed myself, like I've sort of worn down more quickly during the week, and having even more time, I still feel like I don't know. I have had a lot to do also, but it's been just odd. The other aspect of it, like watching my wife go through it and her thing is like you're trying to stay supportive of each other while also being a little on edge and like there's just that and it's coming from both of us and my kids can kind of feel it, I'm sure, and the kids are bouncing off the walls because they can't get out of the house. They're used to being with their friends during the day, so we just can't go too much in any direction. I think you have to rest when you need to rest until it gets to the point where it's detrimental, and you have to work as much as you can work until it gets to be detrimental. And that's a new normal, so we just have to figure that out. Um, oh, Gemma, your nan made rice balls too. Need to veganize her recipe. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can. It's funny. I don't know if they put eggs in the vegetarian option on the one at their restaurant. I'll have to ask them next time I go in there. Whenever I go back in there. Tons of learning you're going to do today, Kathy. That's awesome. Trying to spend my time productively. Yeah, so we're turning homeward, right, with our productivity. We're trying to make it so that we get all of our spaces cleaned up, and then tomorrow we'll probably take a break, try to enjoy more family time, and then Monday get back to work. And Kathy, since I have you on and maybe some other business owners on here, I attended a University of Pittsburgh webinar yesterday. It's an entrepreneurial group that I belong to, and they had different people on from the SBA, from a local bank, from an insurance agency, and an accounting firm, and they were discussing all of the different things that are going on. I don't remember all of it, but what they did say was that every business should be filing for a disaster loan from the SBA. So if you have a business, and I don't even know what the requirements are. I think as long as you have a business that's been running and maybe you filed at least one tax return, file a disaster loan on the SBA.gov. And I think all the states are now qualified for that. And they are processing them as quickly as they can. And they will help out with businesses to keep cash flow going during this time. There's also, I'm sure, Kathy, I know you have payroll, so I know there's a lot of different payroll intricacies going on. And they also said that local states have grants and long-term loans that they're offering companies also, and that's on top of what the federal government might still come out with. So if you do have a business and you can take advantage of one of these opportunities, it's a good idea. In fact, the SBA is saying everybody should take advantage of it. I tried to go onto the SBA site yesterday, and it was jammed. It kept airing out on me, so they say to try to do it in the middle of the night. So I'm going to try to do that tonight. Good morning, Becky. Good to see you. And Angel says, today I am painting in our new home office so the next week is more productive. Good for you. Um, I can't paint. I painted this house when we moved in, and I was determined to never do that again. Good morning, Janice. Good to see you. Thanks for joining me. So yeah, so just just trying to make the most of our time and chill a little bit, like relax with each other. My wife and I talked about it this morning. Like, we're getting short with each other once in a while. We have to keep remembering we're on the same team. It's going to be hard for each of us at a different point in time, and we just got to do what we got to do to support each other and realize that the other one sometimes is going to need a break. So, we've both been there. She was there early in the week. I was there like middle of the week, towards the end of the week. Now we're kind of both recharged. It's the weekend. It's the weekend, although every day is the weekend anymore. And we're gonna kind of go through it and do what we got to do, right? So, but I'm glad. I'm glad you guys all joined me this morning. It was good to see you all. I hope you all have a great Saturday. Gemma, sorry, I know some of these comments come up on a delay, so I don't always quite see you. It's real hell in New York as of tomorrow. 100% non-essential businesses to close. They are doing that in Pennsylvania too. We actually had to do it as of 8 o'clock. I think it was yesterday, the night before. So we're allowed to stay open. Like there's a list of like non-essential businesses that have to close. Everything from accounting to real estate to any like manufacturing not associated with medical devices. Um, Insurance companies, all that stuff have to close. If you can work from home, great, but you can't go to the office. And but mail order is allowed to stay open, and grocery stores, and ironically, liquor stores, and actually, liquor stores are closed, but beer distributors are open. So people need to get their beer. But yeah, it is weird. It's even our street. It's a residential street, but it gets quite a bit of traffic because it's a bit of a cut through, and there's significantly less traffic. And none of the neighbors on a 70-degree day were outside yesterday. It's a little weird. It's a little odd, but I'm sure in a city, I've seen pictures of New York, and it's amazing how that looks. If I had a drone that I could put up over New York City, I would certainly do that. That probably would be an eerie sight. In fact, somebody did that in Pittsburgh, rush hour over one of the bridges, and it was completely empty. So it's pretty crazy. All right, I'm going to get rolling. So I want to get on with the family and do our thing. I hope you guys all have a great Saturday. I will be back here I will be back here Sunday, tomorrow morning. So I'll see you again tomorrow morning. I'm going to shoot for 10 o'clock again. When I decide for sure, I will schedule it in here for you so you see it. All right, talk to you soon.